publicly stated that part of his agreement to joining Hillary's campaign is that if she wins the presidency on November 8th, she must break open the UFO files so long as it does not harm national security. But this, and we're going to go back to 2015 now, is where the media failed each and every one of you. And you guys do. Okay, including us token Canadians here. Token. On February 13th, 2015, Podesta, in leaving his position with President Obama, sent out an ominous tweet. Who here's on Twitter? Okay, follow us at Spaced Out Radio. James Dyson, SOR. He sends out an ominous tweet. It read, "Finally, my biggest failure of 2014, once again not securing the hashtag disclosure of the UFO files. Hashtag the truth is still out there." Here we have the right-hand man to two presidents and one hopeful saying UFOs are real. And no one but the Huffington Post covered it. Not NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, or Fox, or any other news outlet. The newspapers missed it as well. And it's only been after recent WikiLeaks cables, the media still is not covering it. Now, when I look at this, here we have the second biggest story in mankind's history, next to Jesus Christ himself coming from the heavens above. And not one of the big media outlets has covered this story. Does that seem fair? Think about it. Think deep inside. Wouldn't you want to know what the government knows about UFOs and extraterrestrial contact if they all of a sudden showed up? Literally showed up. Not this stuff we get now, but I'm saying dropped right here in Washington State or Washington, D.C. or in L.A. Wouldn't you want to know if they were good or bad? Imagine the panic. Okay? So here we have the media not doing anything. See, what you don't know about journalism is every journalist out there has a major, major ego. Doesn't matter if it's man, woman, okay? We have egos. And we all want the one story, man, that is going to break. Breaking news is like winning the lottery in the media. Okay? And here we have the $1 trillion question. And the media does nothing about it. The other hint that Podesta gave in his tweet was using the hashtag disclosure. Stephen Bassett from the Paradigm Research Group started the hashtag disclosure movement on Twitter to draw up support on all social media for his cause, which is disclosure of all UFO files that the United States government is hiding. Why would the president's right-hand man now use Bassett's hashtag? It was a sign, and an obvious one, that there are thousands of files on record. And yet the media has dropped the ball. So is the media working for you? Are we seeing a pattern here? Okay? In this case, they're not. And I want to let you know, if Hillary does get elected, I'm not turning this into a political thing here, but if she does get elected, Stephen Bassett will be on Spaced Out Radio the day after the election to talk about John Podesta and Hillary Clinton when it comes to disclosure. 3 hours of talk in regards to that topic. So, back to you, the valued listeners and the participants here. Are you experienced? Show of hands here. Who's seen a UFO? Okay, about half. Show of hands again. Who here has had an extraterrestrial experience? A few of us. Okay. Once again, show of hands. Anybody seen a cryptid? Bigfoot? Dogman? Sea serpents?
I've seen something.
Okay, that works for me. And a show of hands, once again, who here has had a ghostly experience? Almost all of us. Now, as you can see by looking around, quite a few of you are probably looking for answers to what you have seen. After all, that's why this ParaCon is here. What if I were to tell you, though, that your experience no longer matters and it's no longer relevant in research? What if I were to stand right here in front of you and tell you each time and every one of you directly that the researchers don't care about your experience? How do you feel? Think about that for a second. How do you as an experiencer feel? Resentment? Anybody? Resentment? Okay. I would feel personally, I'm not worthy of someone's time. I would feel that my opinion no longer matters. I would feel let down by my family, friends, co-workers, and most of all the media and the government who is supposed to work for me, because nobody is telling me anything. There are plenty of reasons why they're not telling us. If we look at the UFO side and maybe even the cryptid side, national security, the military-industrial complex plays a huge role in this. Religion also does not want you to know this stuff may be real, so that when you start thinking about it, you won't question your faith. That's why they put everything, religious figures that is, put everything in the weird, odd, supernatural, demonic overture. Who's sick of hearing about demons? There are no demons out there, for the most part. I know investigators who have been investigating literally for 30, 40, 50 years, who have never ran into a demon. Let's look at our panel here. Jim, demon? No. How many years have you been investigating? 20 years, nothing. Mike? You've been doing this for 5 years, right?
No longer.
Okay. Anything?
Never.
30 plus years, never a demon. Tyler?
No.
Demon? Eric?
No.
Your beard is kind of demonic, but that's okay. The whole point here is, you look around this table, you have almost 150, 200 years of research, time in the field, and none of them have ever seen a demon. Does it make you wonder how certain people see one once a week for 26 weeks on television?
Yeah.
Okay? The worst part about this is nobody, and I mean nobody, who should care, cares about what you've gone through. And to me, that's 100% wrong. Because the worst part about this injustice is that there are many in the hierarchy of alternative media, which is what I do, who believe the experience is no longer relevant to the research. So what they're telling you is, you're not worthy. Yes, they want to hear your story. Yes, they're going to seem intrigued. They want to learn about what you went through. They're going to show you all the passion, the, oh my God. Okay? But to most researchers, they've heard it all before. Your story is no longer a priority. They're not there to help you. They're more interested in the secrets of pressing the government for information that they know they're never going to get. Sure, there are sources, and those sources always leak evidence, no matter how small that trickle is. Look at Wikipedia these days. But as for us experiencers, we're no longer the priority. And to me, that's sad. Now, on the paranormal side, how do we deal with that? Did you know that in the United States alone, there are more than 36,000 registered paranormal groups on social media? 36,000. The pet peeve of mine when it comes to the paranormal teams is the word science.
Yeah.
Okay? When I hear one of these teams, they'll come up to me or they'll come up to Jim, they want to be a guest on Spaced Out Radio or Spaced Out Weekend, and they, or maybe I read it on social media, and they start talking science. And literally, when I use the word science on my radio show, I do the quotation marks behind the microphone. I don't know why, it just seems right. Anyways, let's trigger something in my head. It basically says we are dealing with a group that is more interested in playing Pokemon Go with ghosts rather than conducting any type of true research. Hey Eric, can you grab me one of those? If you don't mind. If we can, well no, that's for them, but can I get one please?
What would you like?
A Pepsi.
Okay.
Me too. Thank you. So, sorry about that, I'm thirsty. If you run into one of these paranormal teams, let's say your house is haunted or your work is haunted, and you run into one of these paranormal teams, and if you ever hear a paranormal team use the word science, first things out of your mouth should be, oh, you have a scientist on your team? If they say yes, please work with them, because they're probably legit. Always find out their purpose. Ask questions. The most problematic issue in the field of paranormal today, and my study is mine only through this show, and I've done over 600 shows in the last 2 years, okay, is this. These so-called researchers learn everything from watching television. There's no school for this, okay? There is no giant research database, thank you, where 99% of these teams can drop their evidence in. It doesn't happen. Yet, they all have that one person who looks about the age of 25 who's been investigating for 20 plus years. We've all seen that. In other words, because your experience is unique to you, and you want to find out if your home is haunted or not, or what has happened to you, ask questions. Okay? Take the time. Ask many groups. What do you do with your evidence? How long will it take me to get answers back? Do you come with solutions on how to rid my home or business of entities? Don't tell me my place is haunted. That's why I called you. Okay? Do you come equipped with counseling if necessary? Do you follow up with your clients? Do you charge money? If any of these groups charge money, walk away. Run. It is simple. Because guaranteed you will have so many demons and poltergeists in your house that you will be milked out of every dollar in order to fund their fraud. Okay? When I have paranormal teams that want to come on Spaced Out Radio, maybe Jim can attest to this too, I grill them. I ask them, what do you do with your evidence? Are you a debunker? Bring it up. Most believe it or not. I cannot answer the question. So here's my conversation. I'm going to say this very sarcastically, but by God, it's the truth. So I'll get a message on Facebook. Hey, we're with so-and-so paranormal, because they usually have to have an acronym that runs with death or spirit, R.I.P., okay, for the most part. And they will literally say, we want to be on your show. We're doing the media thing now. Okay, great. What do you do with your evidence? Oh, we collect it. Oh, okay. After you collect it, what do you do with it? Well, we put it with our other files. Okay. What do you do with those? What do you mean? We collect evidence to tell places are haunted. Really? I already know my home's haunted, or my building is haunted. What are you doing with your evidence? You would not believe how many people cannot answer that question. They're dealing with your lives. They're playing God with you. Okay? You don't know, usually they throw you out of their house for a night. Okay? You don't know if they have gone screaming at the devil himself to try and bring out that spirit that's bugging you. Or because they're a debunking, and just so you know for the record, the word debunk does not exist. It's not a word. Okay? They come in and they debunk. everything that you've experienced. They take everything that you have said has gone on, lights flickering, chairs moving across the table, and they come in and say, well, it's cables behind this wall that are causing the bedroom across the house to all of a sudden have toys rolling along the floor. Who's seen that on TV? Okay? Don't invite people into your home or work who are there for the thrill for themselves. This is where this Pokemon Go crap comes in. They're playing with your lives. This is dangerous stuff. This is one thing that surprised me when I got into Space Out Radio. This is dangerous stuff that is happening to you people. Okay? It's happened to me. We don't know. We have no clue. The word science, though, isn't just specific to the paranormal. And it's often used in the land of cryptids as well. We had this conversation earlier today. That's why I told him I had to shut up because I didn't want to give it away. I'm going to focus on Bigfoot for this. Most Bigfoot researchers out there are in the wilderness trying to grasp a glimpse of this magnificent creature. And I'm a firm believer that Bigfoot finds you. You don't find it. Not how it works. Yet, for the most of these researchers that are out there, they've never seen one or refuse to admit that what they saw was really what they thought they saw. See, they're scientific that way. The cryptid world has very few true scientists. Dr. Jeff Meldrum in Utah. In British Columbia, we have the legendary Dr. John Bindernagel. Okay? I mean, he's somebody who's 84 years old, is literally still running around the forest after 70 years. Okay? And here's the thing, but even for them, and they're two respected people in their research, the thought of Bigfoot being something else than a bipedal animal, maybe tied to Nephilim, Gigantopithecus, great apes of the African era, okay, it's right out of left field. You see, science does not believe that shapeshifters or interdimensional beings, which First Nations, which we call American Indians in Canada, have been saying for centuries. They give First Nations absolutely no credence whatsoever in their legends, their stories. Because we, as the Caucasian Christian scientists, know it all. Science is supposed to be about theory. Eric Markham, who is not here today, but he's an incredibly big part of Spaced Out Radio behind the scenes, is actually a scientist, has a bachelor's degree in it, and we've talked about this topic generously. Conducting a scientific experiment should have a few variables included. Everybody remember grade 8? Grade 8 science? Let's go back there for a minute. Every scientific experiment should have a purpose, a procedure, a hypothesis, data collected, and a conclusion. Who remembers doing those science experiments? Right? So my question to you, my fellow experiencers, is, does this seem logical? It doesn't, because the investigators who are conducting the experimentation, or at least that's what they call it, are performing these experiments with their own opinion. And they are confusing their own opinion with science. The paranormal people are doing it as well. Does any of this make sense to you? Because you, as the experiencer, are the ones who are getting screwed over. Doesn't seem logical. And when it comes to Bigfoot, should we not be listening and entertaining the stories and the legends for centuries, the information from the indigenous people as part of this scientific experiment? It would make sense, would it not? They've been here longer. They've been researching a little bit longer. But they don't. Think about it once again, and we're still talking Sasquatch here. Can we really believe that every person on this planet who encounters a Bigfoot only takes blurry pictures or videos? Who's seen them online? Television? Everything's always blurry. Okay? Are we that bad at photographers? You know, I wish I had turned my phone. Because we can all take a picture right now and we can see if it's blurry. You guys can't too. trail cams that we see video of. They can capture everything. They can capture literally a bear taking a fart, trying to get the raspberries from the bush. And when it comes to Bigfoot, there's nothing.